Okay, this is going to be a top 5 video. Before that, I'd like to say thanks to everybody because this channel reached 10,000 subscribers. I did everything that a YouTuber should not do, and I still got to 10K. There's people with, there's supposed to be like 2,000 YouTubers that have over 5 million subscription. So 10,000's a drop in the ocean. But when you act like I do, and you're as unprofessional as I am, that I got here is ridiculous. But I'm here, so thank you guys. People say, "Oh, you get lots of stuff, and where do you get all this stuff?" And I review, but I've said this before. I'm kind of a tech hunter. I'm looking for stuff, and then there's a couple certain people that I say, "This is really good," and they trust my ear. They know that I'm not going to pull back. It's, again, my opinion, but there's been things that were gotten and given, and I said, yeah, no, and it's already something that's being sold, or it's on Mass Drop or something, and I kind of torpedo it with my honesty. It's opinion, and I say, sorry about that, and they're like, if you hate 5 things but you like one, that makes the one more valuable, doesn't it? And I've said this to you guys before. I'm quite blessed. This is in a copper DM6 with a Nobunaga copper cable 4.4. It's my baby. It's still #1, but it got a little bit of a scare from this set. And this set was sent by Penon. I bought it and they gave me a good price on it, but I actually paid for this because it looked interesting. I also bought the Kanas Pro. When the fuck am I going to stop saying that? Kanas Pro. I'm happy to say that both of them are very, very good. This was an item that I said to somebody, can you get this? Because if you can, you should get it. This is something that's going to stand the test of time and critical listening, like the DM6s. The DM6s are not... lots of people that have been in the hobby for many years have... Red Carmoose is somebody that I've known on Headfi since I joined. He's been there longer than I have, pretty sure, and he's got good taste, and there's a lot of people that have heard it and that like it, and it's kind of gotten through that initial phase of, is this thing hype or not? People have put their 2 cents in. Some people like it, some people don't. But it is, to some people, very, very impressive item. It's build, it's tuning, the whole thing. So 5 months later, this is growing as I expected that it would. And I'll say that I think that if people start to get their hands on this set, the Tansio Mirai, I keep messing that up. Sounds very Japanese. These are really special. These are awesome. These are #2, and I consider these 2 items. And these are BA, by the way. I'm a bass head, and the EX1000 is a 16mm dynamic with tame bass, but that's my baby. These are chi-fi items. How would I compare with the EX1000? It's my reference set. It's not to be compared with what I'm ranking. It's my... I know that set. I know everything and how it sounds on that set, and comparing that to other items is a necessary thing for anybody that's a reviewer. You got to have one set that you're adjusted to, you like, and you can apply it when you're making opinions and double checking if something sounds one way or the other. So that's a dynamic driver, and yet here, #1 and #2, and this is a whole level above this and this, are balanced armatures. And if you've heard the DM6 and you've heard like a bass song or EDM, it slams. The bass BAs are not like they used to be. That wouldn't even be an option for me a while ago, and now they are. This doesn't have the bass like that does, but it's... God, these are... Somebody was saying, they like when companies I didn't notice yesterday. And somebody asked me, those look kind of, so the red is right, of course, and then blue is left. And they are slightly larger. They come with their own tips. I'll do it when I do it in the review. But these are awesome. And you can adjust them. So that would be number 2. The third one on my list would be, and some people might be happy about this, would be the Kanas Pro. These are, in fact, so the Secret Garden was not. So let's keep track of me and how much I get influenced by other people, and then get on to a train. Nobody was talking about this when I did a review. One person, audio 123, he gets tons of stuff, gets it quickly, like a machine. We have different hearing and different preferences, but besides him, when this came out, there was nobody out there. There's not a lot out there on this, but there is a lot of hype. The iBasso is not on this list because it's my personal taste, and there's something about the vocals on that I can't quite... I can't explain it. It's something... It's a good set. It's just not one of my favorites. Again, my opinion. This set, these are damn heavy. There's rumor that these are trying to follow the Harman curve, and I don't know if that's accurate and if it will be reflected in a graph because I haven't done one yet. But it does sound good. It does need more than a phone. This needs to be pushed pretty good to open up. It sounds recessed in the vocals if it's at low volume for me. But once it's tuned up a little bit, not loud, but it opens. These are really good. These would be my third. So the second and third, totally new. That's why I'm calling it the Massacre. The DMGs I'm putting at 1, 2, 3, 4 because I got reacquainted with them while I started doing sound demos, and they really did a good job with these. This is gold filters, and I think they sound great. I liked them for the first time I heard them. I got it on a balance, the soft Linsol gold balance cable. I like it a lot. Because the DM6 gets most of my head time, it's what happens. I get so much stuff coming in. I know, first word problems, cry me a river. But something either sticks with me because I like it or it doesn't. And this has been for months. And I thought today that this wasn't going to really make it. But when I started A-Bing, yeah, it's still there. And the last one on the list would be PMV. This is a hybrid set. It sounds really good. It's a little bit light on the bass. I don't like the cable that much, but if we're just going on sound and not going on price, these are under 200. These are under 200. The Kanas is under 200. 1, 2, and 3 are under $200. That's around $100 now, I think, the DMGs. And this set is close to 3. And it's the 5th one, but it's of all the stuff that I have in my possession, Chi-Fi, I'd put it in the 5th position. So this is the January Massacre. There's nothing familiar on this list except for number 1, and the DMGs, which have changed a lot because the amount of time that I listen to something and what I'm comparing it to. These are just really, really well tuned. And the eco that I put at number 2 do get fatiguing after a while. So there's a certain thing about some sets that after you listen to them for a while, you start to notice that your listening sessions are not really more than 30-40 minutes, and the eco is kind of a set like that. This is not. That is not. These are very similar. And the Kanas Pro doesn't have a treble that's offensive. You have to kind of turn it up, actually. So that's not going to bother you. And the DMGs were always known as being kind of balanced, and then it has a roll-off on the graph, and I find that to be accurate. This set right here, a little bit light on the bass would be its thing, but this is my top 5 right now, and this is my opinion. And doing the sound demos recently have really, it's interesting to do a sound demo then listen to it myself, because the mic picks it up pretty good, yo. Especially when there's two to compare and you're thinking, well, that cymbal sounds like it's lasting longer, and it's exactly how it sounds in the ear. So, good idea. I've gotten over my butt hurt with Load 2. I'm not going to bitch about them anymore because it sounds so good. This Nobunaga cable's about 120 bucks. It's copper. Does it make a difference? Nah, come on. No. But you dress up the stuff you like. So, number 1 is the DM6. It's still number 1. Closest it's ever come to being considered not is this set right here, which is the Tansio Mirai, I think it's called. Very impressive. Has anybody reviewed this? I'm stunned that this is not just selling like hotcakes. This is really good. If you are stuck and you can't get this set because you're waiting, frustrated, I use my dip switches up, down, down. Remember that and consider this set. Kanas Pro, the hype is real. It's a very good set. I don't think that people have been mentioning, or I haven't read it because I'm not on forums so much. This, I think, needs a good power source. I think that this is something that will scale up with the higher quality gear. I don't think I would ever use these off of a phone because I need to open it up with some power. DMGs, you guys all know, and then the PMVs, the hybrid version, it's a little cheaper than the APA. It's still pricey though, but it sounds good. And that's it. We hit 10K. Thank you guys. And I'm out. And I'm going to do a sound demo probably tonight, and it'll be with a hybrid set, and it'll be the PMVs and the LZA6. Put those two. They're both hybrids. So I'm building up the sound library. And the Elton John song, I'm going to start from about... I'm changing the time sequence because I want to come in when the drums are starting, and Elton John's voice, instead of the very end of the listening sample, I want the drums to be a regular part of your listening because there's mids and bass in there. And also they're hitting the hi-hat a lot. And then towards the end of the part that I'm going to use from now on, there's some good piano. Probably Elton himself. He's a piano player. His voice, background singers, piano, a good drum, a simple play on the drums that kind of gets repeated, and not rapid hi-hats, but several of them. So I like that song, and I'm not getting any copyright claims on it, so I'll stick with that. So I'm out of here. The January Massacre. Biggest flipping of stuff since I started keeping a list. Who cares about lists? Nah, I get asked in comment sections all the time, do I like A better than B? So why not just make a list of what I think is good, and then people like it or not. And also you can get a sense for what I like. And you agree with me or not, it's not as important as you understand what I like, because you can gauge that and say, okay, he's not into this, and I don't like the EX because of the treble, but I like that. So knowing the point that I'm at lets you know where you're at relative to me. Like the ABs with sets you might not have heard. If you heard that one has higher treble and you hear one with higher treble, you might make a good guess to say that's probably whatever set that we're talking about. So I'm just another opinion amongst many, and consider it. Spend your money carefully. Listen when you can. If I were buying stuff and I had to take only one, it would still be the DM6. If that was not available, it would be the Tansio Mirai. So that's basically how this works. If this was not available to me, what would I take? I'd take that. What if these weren't available to me? Kanas. What if that wasn't available? I couldn't pick it. I'd go to the DMGs. What if I couldn't take any of them? I'd be happy with that. That's basically what this means. What would I listen to? And if I couldn't have that one, what would be my next choice? Look at it that way, okay? And I'm out. 10K. Thank you. Fuck yeah. Damn, I almost made that video without saying an F word. Sorry about that. No, I'm not. Whatever. I'm out.